Hello everybody, thank you for clicking on the video. We are back with another prediction video. I'm one of, forget it, I thought of a clever intro. Skip it, whatever. Gonna just give my predictions real quick on the AFC Championship game, but also the NFC Championship game. So let's just dive right into it. Let's start with, because the AFC Championship game's in the daytime slot instead of the primetime, we'll just start with the Ravens versus the Chiefs prediction. I said it in last week's video when I was giving a prediction for the divisional round between the Chiefs and the Bills. I said to that point in their careers, respectfully, this was the biggest game of Patrick Mahomes' career, and this was the biggest game of Josh Allen's career. And it kind of lived up to that. I mean, the question marks of, can Patrick Mahomes play on the road, this and that? I mean, it's been answered. And it will be answered again, today with, can he play an AFC Championship game on the road? Divisional and AFC Championship, they're two separate things. Like, the Ravens are just so much of a better team than the Bills overall. So this is a whole different monster that the Chiefs have to tackle and Patrick Mahomes. And I would say the same for the Ravens. I mean, the Texans are one thing. It's a young and upcoming team with a rookie coach and a rookie quarterback. But Andy Reid has been there. Patrick Mahomes has been there. Travis Kelce has been there. Chris Jones, half of that defense. These guys have been there. And so the Chiefs versus Texans, we know which team's better. Like, there's no question about that. And if there's any chance for Lamar Jackson to prove, like, any of his doubters wrong, it's now. Like, he couldn't have asked for it any better. It's like he's got the number one seed. He's got the Chiefs right where he wants them, at home. The time is now. I mean, we were saying it for the Bills where it's like, if there's any time for them to eliminate the Chiefs and move on, potentially go play for a Super Bowl, the time is now. And I have a feeling that the same can be said for the Ravens, because just imagine how the seedings would have been if Joe Burrow stayed healthy, if, Trevor Lawrence wasn't dealing with a nagging injury, and, Justin Herbert had a competent coach. What if Aaron Rodgers didn't tear his Achilles, the fourth play into the season? It's like the AFC has just formed in a unique way where it's like, this is Lamar Jackson's year to win it, or I don't know if it's ever going to happen again. The biggest quarterback that he would have had to face to get to the Super Bowl would have been Patrick Mahomes, and here he has them right where he wants them, where the AFC Championship is in Baltimore. He doesn't have to go to Kansas City. He doesn't have to deal with all that nonsense. He has them right in his own backyard. And so I just hope it's a good game. The last two times these teams have played, it's kind of been high shootouts. Like, there was a game in 2020. There was also the game in 2021. Well, last I checked, like, the forecast, it was going to be a little bit rainy. I don't think this could be a high scoring, like, high 30s, maybe 40s. No. This, I have a feeling, is going to be just like how the Bills versus Chiefs game was, where both teams have maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns, but field goals. And I'm leaning towards maybe we might be in the same situation as we were in the Bills game, where it's Tucker taking the field goal instead of Bass, and instead of going wide right, they make it because Tucker is a clutch kicker. I would not be surprised if the game plays out the same. Lamar does the same, where it's maybe 2 through the air, 2 through the ground again, like how he had against the Texans. And sure enough, he has the ball down by 2, down by 3, and they march right down the field, 90 yards, and, to tie the game or take the lead and win the game, Justin Tucker, right through the uprights. So I'm hoping for that. I mean, Kansas City is a phenomenal team. Like, Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Travis Kelce's my favorite tight end in the league right now, next to Mark Andrews and George Kittle. Today, I'm not a Chiefs fan. Today, along with, like, all of America, I'm rooting for Lamar Jackson. Because if the Chiefs outright win, you can't hate on that because they outright won. But if the refs help the Chiefs win, or even for the Ravens, if the refs help the Ravens win, I mean, we can't have that. You know what I mean? I'm getting an itch that this might be a tight end duel between Andrews and Kelce, because he was questionable to come back. And if he's not playing, he's not playing. But last I saw, he was coming back for this. And so I have a feeling that Andrews might have a touchdown. Kelce might have 2 again. And Odell. Like, I think Odell might make some noise in today's game. But other than that, like, it's all on the feet and arms of Lamar. Like, I do think he's going to explode again. So, anyways. So, for the primetime matchup, we got Dan Campbell's brand new Lions versus the old reliable San Francisco 49ers. 4 conference championship appearances in the last 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, and that 5th one would have been the Packers, Buccaneers. Safe to say, I think the 49ers are the new Packers, where it's like, remember that era where, the Packers went to Seattle, they went to Atlanta, they went to San Fran. It's like, I think just turning of the guard, if that makes sense, where I think the Niners, I said it even last year after they lost to the Eagles, it's like, they're going to be back. They have the best team in the NFC, and also, who's going to beat them? The NFC is wide open. Brock Purdy gets healthy. They keep guys, extend them, do contract negotiations to maybe bring in one more guy. They're going to be back here, and sure enough, they're back. I had the Vikings. I think I had the Vikings winning the division as the 4th seed, because you know how 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I believe they were my 7th seed that got to sneak in and go play the 2 seed, which I had the Eagles at the time. So, but I 10-7. I think I had them, but for them to be right here, right now in the NFC Championship game, it's impressive. Okay, for them to have beaten the Rams, the homecoming, Stafford, and then to beat Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers in the divisional round, like, they deserve to be here. And if I was going to do a prediction, like, straight off right now, like, how I'm feeling with the momentum of how they played in last game, give me the Lions all the way. Like, give me the Lions blowing out the 49ers, like 34-17. The Lions were just so much more, like, the 4th quarter explosion, I would think, would have just carried so much into this game versus how the 49ers just let the Packers hang around way, way, way too much. And the Packers had them beat. Like, you watched the game for 58 minutes of that football game. The Packers beat them. But just, it takes 60 minutes to win a football game. It's a tough decision. I'd have to ride with the 49ers. Like, I really think, Jared Goff still has his moments. And this makes me sound like the biggest Jared Goff hater. But it's like, Jared Goff's played in a Super Bowl and melted. Jared Goff has played in an NFC Championship game and got bailed out by the refs, which I will be, beyond pissed that if for the 2nd time in his career, there's like a penalty no call, and the Lions get to just walk their way into the Super Bowl, just like how the Rams did last year. Like that, that would infuriate me. Or if that happened on the other end where there's a pass interference that wasn't called for the Chiefs-Ravens game. Like, I'm hoping the refs don't impact the game at all in both of these 2 games. I really think that Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle are going to have a monster game again, and it's going to be reliant on those 2 because, what if Debo gets injured again? What if Ayuk tweaks an ankle or something? It's like, you got to go back to old reliable. Christian McCaffrey seriously carried the 49ers to their win last week. The Lions look dangerous, and I would not be surprised if the Lions just come in, St. Brown, Goff, the running game with Gibbs, and just smack them right in the mouth. Seriously, and that defense can't stop anything. Like, I would not be surprised at that. I think this game will, just because good weather, it's not going to be raining like how the divisional round was with the Packers. I do think this is going to be a shootout game. Like, it might be tight until the 3rd quarter, just like how it was for the Bucs game. But then just in the 4th quarter, I think possession, touchdown, where this might turn into a 35-37 kind of game, or 31-35 or something like that. The team that gets the ball last wins, and we might be seeing another Christian McCaffrey, miracle touchdown at the end again or something. And I think that with how many times the 49ers have gotten to this spot and not won and not moved on to the Super Bowl, I think just this is the year that, they just finally get over the hump, where instead of having a dropped game-sealing interception like they did against the Rams, that interception is actually caught, whether it's by Bosa, tipping it at the line, and then Armstead or someone else picks it off, or Warner or someone on the back end like Ward. Just this, this has the makings of such a great game. And so hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully both of the games are good. But right now I'm riding with the 49ers. And I think it's all just going to go through Christian McCaffrey. But then for the Lions, I'm not going to lie, Gibbs is probably going to have a touchdown, and I wouldn't be surprised if St. Brown had two. Like, these Lions are scary. the team that will be more motivated and ready to go into this game, obviously it's going to be the Lions. And so I think the Lions are going to jump on the 49ers early and quick, but then weathering the storm and then coming back, they chip away at the lead, chip away at the lead, chip away at the lead. I think the 49ers are going to have a comeback win, and they're going to win the ballgame. Move on to the Super Bowl and go play the Ravens. Yeah, I'm not rooting for the Chiefs today.